Good morning, world. I've been quiet on here because I've been holding the Freedom from Fatigue retreat, and I wanted to share some of the top takeaways from that. It's been a fantastic couple of weeks, and to see the progress in people so quickly. Like within a couple of days, the difference in people, especially considering some of them had travelled quite far and some of them had barely left their home for 9 years. So it was a big journey that they took on just to get to me here in central Portugal, and then to then see huge differences in these people within just a couple of days was amazing. Really amazing to see, and for them to feel the differences as well. So I wanted to share with you the top takeaways that really helped them, and I know really helps a lot of my clients as well. And the first one of that is the circadian rhythm. It's really focusing on your circadian rhythm, making sure that you're going to bed at a normal time, you're not staring at screens at night, you're not leaving phones and routers on next to your bed or in your bedroom, that if you are staring at screens you're wearing blue light blockers, that you get outside for sunrise and sunset if you can, and if not, open a window, get your face out, get the light in your eyes, not wearing sunglasses and sun creams as much as possible because that dysregulates. Oh, I didn't pick a stone up to throw. You might be able to hear we're near some water, and I always have to throw a stone for Cheetah, who is waiting patiently in the water. Oh, she caught that one. I can't see another stone now. So circadian rhythm is really important to health, because it's running the clock, all the clocks in the body, which there are many. So it's affecting your mood, your energy, your sleep, your hormones, your digestive system, everything. So, this is really important to do as much as you can, as often as you can from where you are, and obviously not stressing about it, but really trying to make an effort to reset that clock, that rhythm inside of us, so that we can live in a much more natural way, and when we live naturally we thrive. So those sorts of things are really important, as whatever you can do to help that. And obviously whenever you go outside, it's about getting your feet or your skin, as much of it as possible, in contact with the earth as well. So that might be putting your feet going bare feet on the ground, or it might be hugging a tree. Yes, that works. Or just putting your hands on the ground or on a tree or something to help. All of these things, and I've mentioned this in depth in previous videos, all of these things really help to start to replenish the electrons in the body, which, living in the way we do in society and staring at screens and looking at boxes and getting stressed and things, deplete our electrons. So that part is really important. Another part that is equally as important, because it's always about how we're fueling ourselves, and that is getting plenty of fats and proteins in. Half of your plate should be looking like that, and getting the carbs out. So that would be straight carbohydrates. You still have carbohydrates from vegetables, seasonal and local if you can, but I know that was also a stress. But getting those carbohydrates out so that you can convert back to being a fat burner, which is our natural state of being, So it's our natural way to thrive. It's how we easily thrive. And it's made such a huge difference doing this to everyone's digestive system that was on the retreat, and very quickly. And it's not just, that's how we notice it first, the digestive system, but then we notice we have more energy and better mood, and as the weeks and the months go on and we convert fully to being fat burning again instead of carb burning, we don't have spikes, we don't have drops, our brain fog disappears, and most of them noticed that on the retreat as well. That happened quite quick. And basically we can repair at a cellular level, so the body starts to repair from all sorts of weird and wonderful things, even things we've had for many, many years. So that bit is also very important. And then being in the now, instead of catastrophizing, which I know is easy when we feel chronically unwell about the future, is really coming back to the now as often as possible, so that the now is the only moment that we can control. We can try and control all the other stuff from past and future, but we can't. We can only control this moment, and we can keep choosing in this moment as often as possible to appreciate the small things around us, to focus on what is right instead of what is wrong, and to accept just this moment. I know we can't accept the bigger picture, but we can find ways to accept just this moment. And in doing that, we stop triggering the nervous system, we start finding things to be happy about, we stop wasting energy on things that we cannot control and are not important. And that kind of leads me on to my final big tip or takeaway from the retreat, and that's the nervous system. So the nervous system is super important. If we are feeling wired all the time, we need to do some stuff to regulate that nervous system, because even if we do all the other things 100% of the time, we're going to find it very difficult to feel better if we're constantly in a dysregulated way. So that might be ear wiggling. I've talked about that in previous videos. That might be, again, getting in contact with nature in some way. That might be tapping, EFT, journaling, making sure you drink your tea when it's hot instead of cold. It's different things for different people. So find out what helps you to feel regulated, and do those things as often as possible, and especially before meals and before sleep and important parts of the day like that, and really start to come back into balance. Also, the other ways I've already mentioned will help with regulation as well, but really focusing on bringing that tired and wired feeling down, listening to our body, going to the toilet when we need to, eating and drinking when we need to. This all helps to regulate, because it teaches the nervous system it's safe, it's listened to, that you're finally listening to your body after all these years, and it can start to release this kind of really tight hold it has on us, and the way it protects us. So yeah, there were loads of other things that were helpful along the way, but these four are the things that make the biggest difference, the quickest difference, and not just with the retreaters, but with one-to-one clients as well. It's made such a huge difference with them. So if you have any questions about any of that, do let me know. I also have some online courses with some of that content, like nervous system regulation and stuff. So there's links to those below. But yeah, interested to hear what you think, if you're trying any of these things, how you found any benefit to them, or maybe you're struggling with them, you don't really know how they're meant to help or something. But pop any questions below. I'm happy to answer them, and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.